1 2 1 2. Check the mic. 1 2. Check the mic. Check the mic. 1 2. Essex get settled here. 1 2. Check the mic. Check the mic. 1 2. 1 2 1 2. Check the mic. Good. The mic is in good shape. Perfect. All right, guys. Wonderful. It's another show, emergency show for the night, to keep you abreast of what is going on in the diaspora. Jala, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, I just got on, buddy. We're just about to start. So I want you to share the show for me. It'll be this a major show tonight, so you want to share the link with your friends. Please do so. Allah be a messenger. The great guru is on. How you doing, sir? Welcome on board. Sylvester, how you doing? Welcome. Please share for me. Those joining the show. We want to have a wonderful, wonderful show tonight. So while we are building our audience, I'd like to do a little entertainment here. While I will be right back, and I will get on my other device to share the link as well in other groups. But let's see what I got for us here, entertainment wise. Let's get to put to song here. I like it.
Aha! But you know that when you're so you say, oh, I will it. Put to Apollo Association in America. I'm so right there. Can you give me so to one national group to besta? Ah, yeah. So, national president press for Quincy rule. So I did. So, come on, play Nyongo. You're the one who give our mama. Me, I get you. On the same money, I do the gaga, you the one and do. Me, I get you. Cabodio. And your mind is a what way you. Jojo, me, I think it. Oh, yeah, come on, play Nyongo. Bravo, come on, play Nyongo. Come on, play Nyongo. Come on, play Nyongo. And yeah, bravo, me, I get you. We want you. Apura Boleva. You're one, yeah. So you say, now, Martina go. Tina Bewe, the go, better than one day, I want the other one go. Man, that's why you want your papa. You can my new mop and dear. Mamma, boy, you pick up bad, yeah. I never I say what way. I will get and tell you what you do. I know you're there. Emmanuel, no. Aha, secretary. I will my get you. I will put right here. I know Kiba Mama. You want Kiba there? You want get them on run. You want play. Never goes on walk out road. Treasure we are. Treasure Mama, though, you're low. I get never run where I will. She best have up the one we are moving. Ilasope. Financial Secretary, aye, Simo, Adeabuga, Adamawe, Mana, no one, my yade, you might get Gayana, Gayabuga, de Mamma, Mawu Yada, where my Duaya, Abu, you know, Hayawene, Reverend Daniel Wallow, Chaplain, I supply it. Gabriel Goblo ayede yo da no wo wa Goblo ayede yo de yega ajawe ina suru jinewo mo bia ina wa ya da wa luwa First lele sawo mama aide monso $7 ni onwa o se mo ti we ma o Kim Yubote National President Association in America. Aye. Honorable George Party, la Bureau Ambassador to the US. I say, oh, we are that in Monsuma. So, can one day you go, can one day you go, can one day you go, the one you know that. We're more than your brother, you see it. No, be Tanya, maybe I would delay you back. And you will not play with it, so come be easy. I would delay you by on the Mawa. And no play with ya. Level for Rimbo boys, you know. Kai Fale, Bochema, Appointment Monso, Ambivati, Redness, Ude, Coachelle, Mama, so I do. Esther Selly, David, so, as I Fale, Apostle Monso, my Sentale, Anya, so, and I walk, Patty. Apollo Hutu Association in America. Asawo, aye. William Rupe. I'm a side demonstration. I'm a set. That's unique. I'm going to Tommy Paul. Yeah, get them all. I'm Mamma Mosu. Selling Bale. Aha. Kaeruno, la noa, bebe. Hablo Hayawe blah. Chibeza we abu. Sim Kape, Minnesota President. We are getting monsoon. You got to all need now. Am I your one? Sima, are you of them? Don't respire. Best evident President. You got Glenn Mogranabo. No, your Mogran and Mogranabo. Don't we are being dead to you. We must be on the Kalu Abio. Ayawene. What's the ligo? What's the limo Kalua we are? Are you a president? Of Webe Monso. Joseph Kabe. Aye. New England president. Asawo. No, you have the moon and they were Yazia. My Yabra, Brana Bide. My Yabra, Matia. You want to get my knee. Nyamri monga, manja di nyamri ayigro nyutonga. Ayena goyana wa. Eric Bay, Rhode Island President. Asawo, wego, ganyo. Wego. Jasio. Aha, anu mama monzuma. Superstar weyo. Mia Selim, I'm a investment, national care. After quite monso, there is a selling. I'm on you aware. I'm a special.
Yeah, Apollo Ayekba. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another. I don't know, is that a fascinating edition of Voice of SINOE emergency coverage? We want to say welcome to all our viewers around the world that are joining us, those that are yet to join us. I don't know, my sentiments, my feelings are mixed right now, because of what is going on within my organization and the news that I'm about to discuss with you. It's kind of tough to say, but we're going to get into it in a little bit. Again, welcome to Voice of SINOE. The turnout is quite impressive. I love that. That's how you're supposed to do it when you get on the show. You can just share the link with your friends, and then they will be part of the show. We are also now live on YouTube as well. You can also follow the show from your big screen television at home. All right, so what do we have for you tonight? Maybe some of you that are following the developments within the United SARPO Association in the Americas, you're supposed to know. Let me check. I want to know my sound here so I can regulate my voice. Okay, good. So tonight, we want to go into the latest development within our union, and hopefully you will participate. But yeah, he said my device, my telephone, for whatever reason, I forgot my charger somewhere. So if you want to participate, the only way you can get on the show tonight is live. You can just say, send me the link, and I will do just that to send you the link. But the telephone, I forgot the charger, so we can take phone calls tonight, but we can do live. If you want to kind of just say send the link, and I was saying you want to participate, that's fine. If you don't want to, you want to listen to that SARPO, that's also beautiful. All right, let's get into this here quickly. All right, so what do I have for us tonight? The first thing, what I call here the title, the United SARPO Association in Americas on the precipice of historical deja vu, as President Geleo vouched not to leave power at the behest of the board. Yeah, the other guy, like BB words. The United SARPO Association in Americas on the precipice of historical deja vu, as President Geleo vouched not to leave power at the behest of the board. So what is that I'm talking about? Well, you have been following the recent development within the organization. The national president, Geleo, was recently, he was in Liberia, and while he was in Liberia, giving the back and forth, or if you like, the incessant back and forth between the board and the executive, the board got sick of the president activities or intransigence. And so they're sending a communication that, Mr. President, your time has expired. And therefore, since the Constitution still protects us, we are taking charge of the organization. And so they send several communication, because you see, I am an evidentialist. So those are just following. I want us to follow the chronology of the development in the community. So I have the documents with me here tonight. I want you to bear with me as I go through the various documents available to us, and so that you can be the jury. I am basically the judge, not the judge, the defendant, or whatever. I will make my case to you, and I will give you the evidence, and you decide for yourselves. Okay, you are the juror. You can convict President Geleo based on the evidence, or you can exonerate him, or you can either convict the board of directors, or you can exonerate the board of directors. So I will give you the evidence as they come into the evidential room of Voice of SINOE. All right. So the president basically refused to leave office at the behest, meaning that at the command of the board of directors. But the board of directors did not ask the president to leave office. You know what asked the president to leave office? It's the Constitution. The document that the president took oath to defend and protect and to obey. The document asks President Geleo to leave office. But he's saying, you know what? It is the board that is telling me. But the board is only repeating. The Constitution by itself cannot speak. Okay? So there are certain bodies, certain organs in the organization. So each organ has its own functions. And so the board of directors is the principal arm of the organization in the absence of the General Assembly. So the board spoke, and the president said, you know what? I am not listening to you. You are all important to me. What is important is me, Green Code Geleo. That's why important, nothing else. Everyone else, you can say whatever you want to say. All the guidelines that are put in place, the guys that are constituted, the Constitution Review Committee that are set up, whatever guidelines, whatever resolutions are those guys they put forth, I have no regard for those things. What important right now is me. What is in my interest is what matters right now. It's not what is in the interest of the general body. Now, let's go to my talking point before I get off track. So our key points tonight that we want to talk about. So I say key points, and we want to talk first. We want to we'll look at the first thing, the board of directors communication. that sparked the ire of the executive. Basically, the communication that made President G angry. Okay, so the board of directors, the communication that they sent, we're going to go through it. Please bear with me. I know it's kind of a little boring sometimes when somebody's reading to you, but I want us to be on the same page. And so that when somebody goes out there and says something contrary to what the document says, you can say that is a fallacy. That you're not telling us the truth. So let's look at first the bold communication to the president that spiked. But before I do that, I think I want to go back a little bit, backtrack, and let's start with the Elders or Council resolution. I think that's why I want to their report. All right, because you have to understand the board have tried. The guys have tried to work with the president, and the president is not willing to work with the board of directors. And so the elders came in, even though the elders, they're acting extra constitutionally. Okay, the Constitution. I mean, the elders are not, at least I have read the Constitution many times. I have not seen the elders council in there. And also the guys were doing it in the interest of peace. So because of the president not willing to work with the other guys, so they say, you know what, we have to interview. We can be in the town as elders, and then things go awry. And so that's how the elders came in. Now, they negotiated back and forth, all right? And so I'm not going to narrate all that story to you. I want to just show you read to you what the elders they recommended to the two parties, okay, the board of directors and the national executive. That's a report in my hand here, and let me share that report with you. So the report here it says the title, United SARPO Association in Americas, the Elder Group or Team, and this was dated September 12, 2020. Okay, that's last year I'm talking about, September 12, 2020. Okay, and the report says, we, the concerned elders of the SARPO community in the Americas, thought to mediate in what we saw as a growing threat to the peace and stability of the United SARPO Association in Americas, as to which group, board of directors, under the leadership of Honorable Usaa, or their executives, under the leadership of President G. Geleo, leads the association in the face of the coronavirus pandemic or corona pandemics. We herewith submit our findings and recommendations. Okay, here are the recommendations of the elders. In our approach, we chose to, first of all, join it with the two of you, the governing but opposing groups of the association, namely the board of directors and the executives. In that approach, we, on August the 1st, 2020, through a teleconference, met with you, the said groups, and having listened to your views, recommended that the second of the two of you, board of directors and executives, the said recommendation after more than 2 weeks appeared not to be, the executive executive are here too. We then took a second approach, this time to meet with your two governing groups separately to find out the hold on to the working together as a team recommendation. Again, having listened to your individual views, we have here with put forth the following recommendations. Okay, let's see what the elders said, the recommendations here for us. So the recommendations of the elders, they say, number one, that we stand by our earlier recommendation that your two groups work together until general elections are held pending the eradication and resolution of the coronavirus crisis. Okay, that was the first recommendation. Now we stand by our earlier recommendation that your two groups work together until general elections are held pending the eradication and resolution of the coronavirus. That was the first recommendation from the elders. Now, I don't know how the guys reached this conclusion until the eradication of the coronavirus crisis. I mean, you don't know for sure whether this virus came to stay or it is transitory. You don't know for sure. And he said, we stand by our early recommendation that your two groups work together until general elections are held, pending the eradication of resolution of the virus or whatever. So they said the two bodies should work together until the virus is over. But then one group is not willing to work with the other, which is the executive. The executive is not willing to work with the board. And so we have issue rated. Now, the recommendation number 2, that a joint board of directors and executive meeting be called ASAP. At that meeting, a joint / working committee be set up to draft guidelines, okay? Guidelines for the work of functioning of the association. So they said the guys should work together to craft guidelines. Okay, that's another recommendation. And number 3, the elder said the part of the team or the terms of reference for that set up committee be A, they gave a term of reference, right? A, number 1, come out with a timetable for the executive to report on the financial position of the association. Okay, that's number 1. They should come up with a timetable when this executive will be making financial report. The executive will make report too on the financial position of the association. B says, come out with a timetable for the executives to report on the work of the COVID-19 relief committee, including the status of the approved $10,000. Okay, all of this wasn't done by the executive. You got to keep that in mind. That elders' recommendation I'm reading now. Come out with a timetable for the appointment of the election commission. The executive refused to do that. Okay. D, other activities for the smooth operation of the association. Such activities could include, but not limited to, events regarding deaths and illnesses of members and their relatives. Okay, they have to also come up with guidelines on that. The executive refused to do that, or they refused to work with the board of directors. Listen here. E, the joint or / working committee is not a standing committee and will be dissolved immediately after completing the drafting. Okay, after they complete the drafting, the committee will be dissolved. All right. They want to say number 4, and that a concerned elders group be allowed to be part of the working or / guidelines drafting committee. So they say the elders should be allowed to be part of that guideline. When they're writing those guidelines, the elders should also be involved. Number 5, that this working or joint committee reports to the association within 3 weeks. Okay, that wasn't done, at least from the side of the executive. 6, that besides the ongoing nursing quarter project, listen to this, besides the ongoing nursing quarter project, no new project be undertaken during this period. Okay, the elders are clear. After the nursing quarter that the guys went to delegate, after that, nothing else, no new project. Okay, let me see. Hopefully I need you over something, but I think that's maybe, yeah, that's it. So they got these, and then they put the elder's name here. Respectfully submit Reverend John C. Black, Chairman, Co-Chairman Arthur S. Geleo, Co-Chairman, that's Honorable Alfred D. Bodoe, Member Honorable Isaac K. Jadia, a member, and then you got Reverend Abel Usaa, Secretary. Okay, those are the elders' recommend. You just listen to the elder recommendation, right? I just want to read that to you. Now, that's the recommendation the elders made to the both parties. Now, the first group that replied was the board of directors. Okay, so what the board of director communication, what they say to the elders' recommendation, this is what the board said. Let me get the board communication here. The board wrote on October the 6th, 2020. Remember, the elders sent that September 12th, 2020. So the board, the reply on the 6th of October. And they say, Reverend John Glad, the concerned elders of the United SARPO Association in Americas. Dear Reverend Glad, on behalf of the board of directors of USAA, I would like to inform you that after a careful review of your recommendations to the directors and the executive committee of USAA designed to help move USAA forward, the directors have resolved to accept and support the recommendations. Thank you very much for your time and efforts. May God continue to bless you with wisdom. Sincerely, Usaa, Chairman of the Board of Directors. Okay, so they said they went through the recommendations of the board carefully. They review carefully, carefully review the recommendation, and they accept and support the recommendations. Okay, that's what the board said. Now let's come to Honorable G. Geleo, the president of the United SARPO Association, replied to the board of directors. The elders wrote again September the 12th, 2020. President G. Geleo replied January the 23rd, 2021. Okay, look at the time frame. January 23rd, that's the date they put here, 2021. The people wrote in last year. Green does not want to listen to the elders. He doesn't want to listen to anybody. So he does his own thing. So this is what G. Geleo wrote. Dear elder group / team, this communication serves as a response to the recommendations enshrined in your report dated September 12, 2020. Okay, the green talking, you, not me. We want to sincerely thank you for the role you have played thus far, for mediating between the executive directors, the executive officers and members of the board of directors to ensure consistency in our noble union. Having sturdily perused strongly, that's what I mean, having sturdily, strongly, robustly, critically perused, the guy, you know, that beat both people now, having perused your revised recommendation, we are pleased to make the following modification / determinations. Okay, so instead of accepting it, the guys are saying, you know what, elders, we have received the recommendation you sent to us, but this is what we're going to do. We want to revise it. We're going to modify it. We're going to tell it the way we want it, not the way you want it. We're going to do it our own way. We have determined, all right, this is what we have decided to do, whether you like it or not. So here's what Green said. Remember the board said, we agree, sir. We want peace in the union. So we'll follow your recommendation. We're going to support you. On the contrary, Green came and said, number one, this is the determinations that they're giving you, that we agree that the executive officers and the board of directors remain empowered and work together until general elections are held pending the eradication and resolution of the coronavirus. So in other words, Green knows that the virus is not going anywhere. It's here to stay. So Green wants to be king of the United SARPO Association. So he said, you know what? He cherry-picked the recommendations of the elders. Okay? So the one that suits him, he took it. Okay? So he said that we agree that the executive and the board of directors remain in power and work together until general elections are held, pending the eradication, until the coronavirus is eliminated, it's going away. Who here believes that the virus is going away? The people are telling you here to stay. So Green said, that's what I want. They want, I should be here, I should be the king, no election should be held, we should just stay there. So that's number one, Green gave us. Number two, that with the confidence, listen, that with the confidence and assurance accorded us, the executive and board of directors work together seamlessly. We humbly propose, the man they are proposing now, we humbly propose that you, the elders, do not form part of the working/guidelines drafting committee. Okay, then it begs the question, why? Why you don't want the elders to be part of the drafting process? Are they your enemies? The elders said they want to be there, to be part, to give their input. Green said, no, we don't want you. One of the board and the executive will be together. We don't want you, but the board, the guys have been trying to work with you. They are trying to work with you, but you're saying, no, you don't want to work with them. So the elders came in and gave, and you said, now I want to work with the elders. I mean, the board of directors, elders, we don't want you. Stay out. Okay? Green is telling us that. We humbly propose that you, the elders, do not form part of the working or guidelines drafting committee. We will form a working/joint committee that will effectively work on the guidelines. We will certainly beseech your views when deemed necessary. Sorry, we will certainly beseech your views when deemed necessary. The Green says you stay out. When we need your view, we'll call you. But as of now, you stay out of the drafting process. Okay, that Green talking. I'm reading his own letter, not my own words. Number three, Green said that the initial project agreed upon by the assembly prior to the stalemate due to COVID-19 pandemic, deaths in our community, and other unrestrained situations be implemented by the executive and board of directors. Okay, so the elders said besides the necessary quarter, nothing should be done until we go to election. Both said no, or Green said no. We want to the other projects, prior to COVID-19 that we agree upon, the board and the executive, let it work together and implement those projects. But the elders are saying no. So Green is pushing a different line. Okay? Green is revising what the elder said. He wants his own thing. 4, that we will implement. He didn't say we are asking you. He said we will. He making definitive claim here. It just as it's in the future. Okay, so he said that we will implement all other impending projects. Green telling you we will implement all other impending projects that are culturally appropriate for the betterment of our community and its people. Okay, so Green now is telling the elders and including the board of directors, this is what we're going to do. Lucky or not, this is what we're going to do. We are not going to listen to you. We now are the party to the confusion, and at the same time, we the one making the call. That's what the position Green now put himself in. Number 5, Green said that the financial report has already been conveyed to the board of directors. They're asking in 2020. Green made a report in 2021 after he shall have done everything by himself, right? Now, even the report has a lot of issues in it, but when they ask for clarification, no response. Number 1, he just came from Liberia, right? The $7,000 that he took against or without the board approval, right? Green made a report, the financial aspect of that report missing. It can be opened. They are not published that yet. I don't know when they're going to publish it. They put their different thing, how they gave key to the other person, but the major part of the report was missing. Okay? So this is the guy that Green's report here, a reply to the board of directors. Now, let's get to something else here that I want to bring to your attention. You see, when the board of directors, when they wrote the president, right, they cited constitutional provisions, and they also gave us resolutions from the other council. They gave us references. They gave us stuff to back up their decision. Okay, so I want us to look through the board's letter again, the one they sent to the president, and then we'll look at the president reply. Again, I'm bringing this to you so that you will be the judges, you are the jurors, so you can decide who is at fault here. So this is what the board wrote the president on April 5th, 2021, when you were in Liberia. The thing that made Green angry now. Green, the board wrote, "Dear Mr. Green, Geleo, National, okay, that the title National President, United SARPO Association, blah, 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 the board of that. Dear Mr. Green, Geleo, on behalf of the board of directors of the United SARPO Association in Americas, I bring you greetings. Over the months, the board of directors has observed with grave concerns the rising waves of misinformation, unauthorized withdrawal of money from the United SARPO Association in America's national account, and disregard of the interests of the SARPO people. The board went on to say, your actions have created an unconducive atmosphere for progress and the potential to destroy the unity of the SARPO people. The board went on to say, cognizant of the rising waves of actions intended to create division within our union, the board of directors convened at an emergency teleconference held on Sunday, February 28, 2021, proposed and approved the following resolutions based on a simple majority vote. The board of directors resolved, these are the resolutions, that your term of office, Mr. Green Geleo, as national president has expired. It is therefore expedient that you cease from functioning as national president of the United SARPO Association in Americas. Note, if you pay attention, they don't say we are taking you out. They say your term has expired. So when you say somebody's term has expired, there is a point of reference. There's something they're pointing at. That your term of office, Mr. Green Geleo, as national president has expired. It is therefore expedient that you cease from functioning as national president of the United SARPO Association in Americas. Number two, and when you're talking about the board of directors, you're talking about all the chapters are represented. The only person that wasn't part of this was Mr. Yangle, because he was with Bole Yangle, he was with President Geleo in Liberia. But all the board members, they were unanimous, okay? Because each chapter got two board members. Milton Shibwe from Minnesota, he participated, and other people, all right? So number two, that all members of the National Executive Committee who were elected with you, term of office has also expired. Therefore, they must cease to function in their respective positions. The board of directors is the legal entity entrusted with managing the affairs of the United SARPO Association in Americas and is working out plans for the peaceful transition of power through elections. All right? They don't say through appointment or selection of people. They say through election. The people got to make their choice. They both went on to say that the board of directors will work with the USAA's chapter's presidents and appoint the National Elections Commission to conduct the electoral general elections in August 2021. They will work with all the presidents of the various chapters because these are the major people. They are part of the National Executive Committee. Okay? And you gotta, maybe somebody will say, oh, but why is it that the president term expired and the president of the various chapter? Because the people we have our election different from the national. Okay. Number four, that Mr. Geleo and all former executive committee members who were duly elected with him, if duly qualified, are eligible to contest the upcoming elections scheduled to be conducted during the gathering of the General Assembly in August 2021 in Jacksonville, Florida. Okay, so the green, if you guys are qualified, you're eligible, you can still participate. You can put your team together and come to the ballot box. That's what something they said. Number 5. Please bear with me. I'm coming to something. I want also understand what is going on in the union so that you can be informed. I'm not just talking, giving my words. I'm reading the communication from both sides of the equation. Now that you, number 5, now that you, the national president of USA, and the executive committee members who were elected with you are no longer officers of USA, the following USA's bylaws and constitution provision is hereby invoked. So they invoke the following provision. In the absence of they're giving you constitutional back. We'll listen to Green's reply. Just listen for a second. In the absence of the General Assembly, all corporate powers shall be exercised by or on the authority of the board of directors of the board and the affairs of the United SARPO Association in Americas, or shall be managed on the direction of the board, except as otherwise provided by these bylaws. And they say Article 13 of the Constitution, Article 13, Section 2.1. They cited that. Okay, so you can take your copy and look at that. Article 13, Section 2.1. In short, the board of directors is the legal entity granted the authorization to manage the affairs of the United SARPO Association in the Americas until general elections are held in August 2021 in Jacksonville, Florida. 6, please note that all documents belonging to the United SARPO Association in the Americas in your possession or in the possession of any other member of the executive committee or members who were elected with you be turned over to the office of the chairman of the board of directors within 2 weeks as of April 5th, 2021. As we speak, the documents are still in the guy's possession. They are not turned over anything. Okay? They don't want to listen. They don't want to obey the request of the board. Number 7. In addition, from the date of this letter, you, Mr. Geleo, and the other 2 signatories, Mr. Darius G. Moen, aka Joseph Yangla, and Mr. Oteka Soen, aka Oteka Morris, to the USA's national accounts. There's an account, there's accounts. We got 2 accounts, okay? At its banking institution, Wells Fargo, are not authorized to make any further transactions on said accounts. Failure to adhere to the aforementioned directive will result into serious legal consequences for any violators. Okay, as members of the board of directors, we believe that we were elected to guide and protect and promote the mission and vision of USAA and not our personal interests. The plight of our people remains paramount to us. Therefore, let the words go forth that united we stand. Long live our union, long live the Republic of Liberia, and long live the United States of America. Sincerely yours, and as Usaa, chairman of the board of directors, and all of that. So, and they got other resolution where they cited the resolutions and they give the one in detail. That's another paper here. But now, the president of the United SARPO Association, Geleo, this is the communication they sent to Wells Fargo. Geleo, after he returned from Liberia, he called a teleconference, and the insult went on. That's the mantra of his style of leadership. People curse each other out. And at that meeting, the president said, it was maybe Saturday or last Sunday. So he gave the General Assembly, the members of the union, 2 to 3 weeks to react to what the board said. Otherwise, he will do something radical. Okay, he didn't tell exactly, but some measure will be taken. So last night, ladies and gentlemen, even though the 2 or 3 weeks did not expire, the president said, no, I can't wait for the people. I got to tell them that I am the lion of the union. I'm the lion of the United SARPO Association. So last night, the president came up with a message. But before we bring the message out, you know that the president is the Ayatollah of the SARPO union or the SARPO Association, the supreme leader. So when the supreme leader is coming to talk, we got to play something, the national anthem of Liberia, because that the supreme leader coming to talk. So let's listen to this. The president is about to talk to the SARPO people. The Honorable President of the United SARPO Association, the Ayatollah, and the tyrant, the despot, the totalitarian of the SARPO nation is about to talk to us. All rise, ladies and gentlemen, or else you will be arrested and taken to the Hoosgow or to the penitentiary, if you like. All right, so we just listened to the board of directors. So let me come this way so we can interact with the Honorable, let's read the Honorable President while he's on the screen, okay? The President replied to the communication that I just read to you from the board. So this is what the President wrote for us, ladies and gentlemen, brace yourself. The language is very, very strong because the Ayatollah is about to talk. The others gave him recommendation. He said, you know what? I'm revising your recommendation. I want my own team. All right. So after he dealt with the others, now he's about to deal with the board of directors. I am in charge here, like it or not. So Honorable G. says, 2, all officers and members of the United SARPO Association in the Americas All right, the president is talking. Okay. And date SINOE, which was yesterday, April the 25th, 2021. Response. Okay, that's reference, and he said response. So he responding to the board of directors. Okay. The president is talking. Listen. The officers and members of the Executive Committee of the United SARPO Association in Americas, USAA, with no uncertain terms, I am resolved, okay, with no uncertain terms, I am convinced beyond all reasonable doubt that with no uncertain terms, hereby denounce, okay, he denouncing, he condemning the board of directors, okay, I hereby denounce the rebellious. Okay, the board of directors, they are rebellious people. They are rebels, in other words. I hereby denounce the rebellious and unconstitutional action of the board of the action of the board chairman, he said, Mr. Usaa, and his cohorts to terminate the services of the National Executive Committee and appoint an election commission. Okay, so President Geleo is saying what the board did is unconstitutional. The man, telling us that the executive is not allowed to appoint the members of the Electoral Commission. That is not within the purview of the board of directors. So it is unconstitutional. But they have given this man how many years to set up election commission? How many years? He exhausted his 3 years in office without setting up the Electoral Commission. They gave him extra time. He is in 2021. The elders gave him the recommendation, everything to do that. The brother refused to do that. Now the elders took, the board of directors, they took action, and he said, no, you are wrong. But now the Constitution does not cover you. Okay, so Green said, you know what? We're not going to listen to you. In other words, that's what he's saying. With no uncertain terms, I hereby denounce the rebellious and unconstitutional action of the board chairman, Mr. Usaa, and his cohorts to terminate the services of the National Executive Committee and appoint an election commission. Mr. Usaa and his cohorts do not have any moral and legal basis. He said, they don't have any moral. They don't have whatever they're doing is wrong. They don't have no legal. When you say legal, something that is law related. But I read the board's communication. They cited the constitutions. They gave you provisions in the Constitution. They reference the resolutions from the Elders Council. Okay, the other communication is offered here. If you want, I can read it. The list there is a long read. That's why I didn't go through it, but it's still I read it in my other podcast. So the master, Mr. Usaa and his cohorts do not have any moral and legal basis to terminate the services of Mr. Geleo, national president, and his officers, duly elected by the assembly. Was President Geleo, was he elected along with the people? Duly, yes, they were elected. But guess what? The Constitution gave you a time frame when your tenure expires. Your tenure expired last year, August 30th. You are no more the president of the United SARPO Association. That is clear. Okay, so Green one, they say such action is unprecedented, diabolical, and inconsistent with the organic law of our union, and is hereby condemned. Okay, the Green talking. He said it's unprecedented. When something is unprecedented, it means it has not been done before in the history of humankind. Who here believes that a president has not been asked out of office before? Even though the board did not ask him out of office. Charles Taylor was asked out of office. It's not unprecedented. If you pose a threat to the unity of the people can ask you to leave. But in this case, the Constitution asks you to leave. Charles Taylor was a threat to the Liberian people. So the United States government, Judge Week came and said, Charles Taylor, you got to leave power. You are suffering your people. In like manners, President Geleo, in like manner, the people gave you sufficient time to do certain things, but you refused to do those things. The elders told you no withdrawing money from the account, all of that. They put it on their communication. You will go there and take 2,500 without board approval and give it to Madame Dorothy Shadamer. I mean, you just blatantly disrespect the other people. But when they take action, you say, oh, I'm the president, you're taking my job. You are usurping my job responsibility. No, you are out. And that's why they're doing what they're doing. So the Greens say it's unprecedented. It is not unprecedented. After all, your term expired, and that's why the guys are taking charge. So it's not unprecedented. He said it's diabolical, it's wicked. Bad people. They're so bad men. But what you have been doing is not bad. It's good. That's what Green's telling us. Inconsistent with the organic law of our union, but he did not give us one single phrase from the Constitution to back up what he's saying here. It's mere words. I can come here and write anything without constitutional backing. But the man just said, it's with provision in the Constitution that the board contravened. Tell us. And then we can look at it. But nothing. Green went on. He knows the notebook. The unconstitutional and diabolical acts of Mr. Sabe and his factions. He calling people faction, okay? The man is resorting to, the Ayatollah is now calling names. He can say anything to anybody. They are factions. They are rebels. Okay? But you, that the Constitution did not cover, who are you, sir? You are constitutional deviant, of course. Number one, Green said, these are the things he listed in your communication. Number one, while President Geleo and some members of his delegation were in Liberia to perform official duties assigned to them by the General Assembly of the USAA, Mr. Usaa, chairman of the board, and his followers deliberately inscribed a letter of removal to the executive committee without considering the sacrifices and risk taken by the delegation and understanding the basis of the agreement negotiated by the Elders Council. Okay, the man now is the same people he did not listen to. Now he's citing there now. The man the elders gave their recommendation. Green said, I'm doing my own thing. These are the things I want. But now he quoting the very people he disrespected. You see the man? You see the gymnastic? The man just flipping all over the place. He said, no, the elders wrote, they gave that recommendation. He said, I'm not following you. If I you, the elders, you are not allowed to be part of the team that will be crafting our guidelines. We don't want you there. But then he turned around and said, no, the agreement that the elder gave us, I'm going in keeping with that. Okay, which one now, Green? You don't respect the elders, but you are going by what they said? While President he said the guy they went to Liberia, you were not sent to Liberia. You went there on your own volition. The funding that support the money that you took, the board did not approve that. You called people on the teleconference and they voted. And there is no provision in the Constitution that says that people that gather on teleconference, they constitute General Assembly. No, nothing like that. Green cannot cite anything in the Constitution. And that's why they just gave up mere words in here. No backing, nothing to back up what they said. And they say the guy they're not talking about the risk you took. You went there on your own. So why should somebody be focusing on that? You did it without respecting the other people. So you want them to praise you when you go do something on your own? So Green went on to say, number two, the executive committee was elected by the General Assembly and not the board of directors. It is only the General Assembly physical meeting or teleconference. You see the guy? He creating his own team. The executive committee was elected by the General Assembly. Okay, we agree. But your time expired per the Constitution. Okay? And the second part, and not the board of directors. I agree with that part. Even though the board of directors, they are part of the General Assembly. They also voted. It is only the General Assembly, physical gathering or teleconference. The Constitution only says physical gathering. They didn't say teleconference. So the man added his own thing. Nowhere in the union where the leaders are elected on a teleconference. No way. Nowhere in the Constitution is mentioned. Green is only making up his own thing. And that has he said, it is only the General Assembly, physical or teleconference, that has the constitutional right to remove, reprove, and or terminate the services of the executive committee when fundamentally proven. Okay? Okay, that part of it I agree. Only the General Assembly can remove people from office. But in the case, the board did not remove you from office. We got to make that point over and over. The board did not make you, they did not remove you from office. It is the Constitution that you took oath to defend and protect and obey. That the Constitution says, Green, your time is over. If you want to be president, go back to the Balabas. They gave you the opportunity to establish election commission. The elders made that recommendation. You ignore them. And now you turn around, you're quoting the same people. Okay. Green went down to say, number 3, the board of directors did not only violate the organic law of our union, but also disrespected the elders. Who is disrespecting? The communications that I read just now. Who is disrespecting the elders? Is that the board or President Geleo? You be the judge. And that's why I brought this before you. You be the judge. The elders' communication or the board, they were cordial, they were friendly. We accept and we support your recommendation. President Geleo can say, we are determined, we are revising, we are modifying everything you said to us. But who is disrespecting who here? The one that is revising, the one that did not set our election commission in keeping with the elders' recommendation, and now he's doing your own thing. And he said the board of the so Green Geleo is good at shifting blame on the other people. He wants to play the victim card. He wants to be the victim here. Yeah, but you are the real victim because you victimize yourself by not listening to the people. You are very victimized by the Constitution, but yet still you want to remain in power. If this was a country, one of the countries in Africa, it would have been war by now, because the president cannot stay in power beyond his constitutional allowed time. So President Geleo went on. He said, the board of directors did not only violate the organic law of the union, but also disrespected the elders who of their own accord functioned as an intermediary. They went between the executive committee and the board of directors. Both parties unanimously agreed to work together. You say unanimously. You just read Green's reply to the board, and he said it's unanimous. You say, I'm modifying what you said. We have determined this is what we want. And you say, it's unanimous? No. You disagree with the elders. So it's not unanimous. The elders, the board of directors, they agree with the elders, but you don't agree. That's why you revise the recommendation. So it's not unanimous. You deviated from what the elders said. We don't have PhD like you guys do, you know what I'm saying? But we can read and understand basic English. Both parties unanimously, he said, agreed to work together for the sustenance of our union during the period of the global pandemic. Number 4, the arbitrary move to renege. You say arbitrary. When something is arbitrary, meaning it's random. You don't think about it. You just do it anyway. That's what Green just insulting the other guys. The arbitrary move to renege. When you say renege, that means you go back on your promise. Whatever you promised to do, you go back on it. Okay, so they say the arbitrary move to renege on the agreement brokered by the elder council is not only just appalling, but indicates the dishonesty and high level of insensitivity on the part of the board. Is completely unacceptable and will not see daylight. Okay, Chico, you're talking. It is not appalling. Why are you doing? It's not appalling. That is laudatory. It's praiseworthy. What he's doing, trying to divide the union, is not insensitive. But the board of directors are insensitive. Going in the account without obeying, you say the board of directors, they're taking your job function by appointing board of commission or the election commission. But on the other hand, when the guys ask you to do something, you don't do it. They are performing their job too. And you say, oh, I'm not doing it, but you are taking my job. But when I tell you to do, when you're doing your job, I'm not going to listen to you. I mean, I don't know where Green is going with this. I don't know where. We have advised the brother to do the right thing, but he's not listening. He went on to say, we, the executive committee, strongly believe that the aforesaid and other unacceptable actions not measured herein taken by the board of directors are intended to derail our focus on development and create discord in our union. You see, again, the guy is shifting blame, okay, on the board of directors. He is the problem right now. The board of directors, they're not saying we will be in power forever. They say, Mr. President, we have a law that we are working with, and the law does not cover you anymore. So we got to take charge. That's what they're saying. They try to broker deals with you, and the elders, they say, my man, you don't get time for all our thing you're saying. We're doing our own thing. I'll make my own recommendation. And that we will tell the people, we will implement all the projects prior to the COVID start. And the elders said no. After the next quarter, nothing else. Green said no. Everything prior to the COVID, before the COVID-19, everything else we discuss, I will implement it. But he is not the problem. That the board of directors is the problem. We will do everything. Green talking. We will do everything in our power to circumvent. Okay, they will avoid. Basically, they will do everything to avoid another 7 years of conflict or any attempt to revise or to reverse our gains. Okay, so what Green is telling us now, he will do everything to protect our peace, all the gains we made. It will not be reversed and da. Okay, listen to the man. He just told that he will do everything. Listen. Our unwavering, we say unwavering, that you're resolute, you're unshakable. Okay, our unwavering commitment into the democratic process cannot be overemphasized. The man say he committed to a democratic exercise, but they told him to constitute a democratic team, which is the election commission. He refused to do that, but he said we are committed to the democratic exercise. The democracy that you're talking about, who facilitates that? The electoral process is part of the democratic process, and the people ask you for years, you can't do it, and you say you are committed to the democratic process. So Green just playing war games on himself. You say he's trying to bamboozle us with words. No. Especially that side, I'm a locker-fire. I'm a lover of words. So you can't go and be flipping with words and you want me to take that. It can't go free. I will break it down to the people. You are playing games with the people. And in the era of dark side, you put the esoteric, no games. I will expose you. You see, our unwavering commitment to the democratic process cannot be overemphasized. And as such, will create a level playing field on a cool and peaceful atmosphere. Now, Green talking, level playing field. The election commission is what establishes the level playing field. He refused to do that. What he is doing now, that is level playing field. Other people don't have the right to participate in any election. Okay, Green now is talking about taking the election from Florida, where the people agreed in North Dakota, in keeping the General Assembly that he quoted and said, only the General Assembly can remove people from office. Okay? The same General Assembly said, next convention should go to Florida. Green is now saying it should go to Iowa. But he is not the problem. So Green said it will be done playing field on a cool and peaceful atmosphere. Okay? After he said that, listen to the man coming flip. Green is about to flip on the people. What happened? Good night, Prudence. Night. Yes, what Green said. After he finished saying that, he about to flip. Despite fruitless, okay? This is the man who's saying you do everything to avoid conflict and all of that. He used the word conflict. He said, we will do everything in our power to circumvent another 7 years of conflict. Then he came to the next paragraph. And despite fruitless efforts, okay, that's a language there that will foster peace. Okay, despite fruitless efforts by the board to create a chaotic scene. Okay, that's a friendly language there, okay? Despite fruitless efforts by the board to create a chaotic scene intended to reverse gains made over the years, the executive committee wants to reassure our members and well-wishers that the executive committee is still in control. Green is telling you, I'm still in control, even though I'm not protected by the Constitution. All power vested in us by the National Assembly will be exercised or implemented to the fullest. The tyrant is talking. The dictator is telling you, all power, the General Assembly, the power they gave Green to you over a long time ago. Okay? 3 years ago, he was elected in North Carolina in 2017 on white ballot. 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. 3 years, 2021, Green said, no, I'm still in power. I still get a mandate of the General Assembly. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? You say all power. He doesn't say some. He said all power vested in us by the General Assembly will be exercised or implemented to the fullest. The peace and stability of our union will never ever be compromised. What you're doing is in the interest of peace. That's what Green is telling us. It will never ever be compromised. And therefore, we will do all humanly possible to confront, now the peaceful language, to confront the rebellious element of the bull. That's what will foster peace in the union. We will do everything to confront. We will face them. When I blow to blow, we'll punch them. When I step, we'll hit them. But that will foster peace. Yes, that Green talking. So Green is a coliseum of contradictions. The man just contradicts himself every step of the way. Then you say, may God bless our union and faithful members. God, you'll tell the other one for you. Then you say, signed, Usaa, Secretary General, USAA, approved, Geleo, National President, USAA. So I am sad. I mean, I got a lot of respect. And I still got respect for him, Mr. Usaa. I respect the man. Because the reason I respect Mr. Usaa, you see, if you give me a job, if I would not do it, I would tell you I can't do the job. And so Mr. Usaa is one of the people I have observed when you give him a job, he works. He does the work. When you go to convention, that man is busy working. But the man has to put his signature on this thing, to be with Green. You can't damage yourself like that. Let Green go on his own route, Mr. Usaa. You can't do that. This is a big mistake. History will capture you as one of those people helping Green to do the wrong thing. You are a very good man. You can't allow Green to go down with you. You see, you got to understand this. People or tyrants, specifically, dictators, they don't like to go down alone. So they always do everything to carry other people with them. And that's what the guy is doing. He is carrying some of you with him. And you are not realizing that. And that's why we are making the call here over and over. Don't follow Green. We call Green to not follow those that are telling him whatever, and he's still following them. But he's carrying good people with him. Mr. Usaa is very highly respected man. Up to this point, there is no way that I would lose respect for that man. But he should not have put his signature on the document. That's a big mistake. Let Green alone put his signature here. And maybe Larry King can come and put his signature, or the SARPO Yeke can do so. That's fine. But it should not be Mr. Usaa. He's a very good man, very decent guy, a man. Why would you follow Green to damage yourself? Green wrote a 2-page document. 2-page document. 2, right? Not one single constitutional provision cited. Not one. Imagine. The man said, organic law. Green wrote 2-page letter without single phrase from the Constitution to back up what he said. I think my little dollar here can do a better job than that. The president of our union is saying, I'm still protected. I'm still the legitimate president. The Constitution still supports me. I still got the mandate of the General Assembly, but he cannot give a one provision in the Constitution. He was depending on the elders that he already condemned. So you be the judge. You decide. If you think the board of directors are the problem, make a decision from the evidences that I just gave you. If you think Green is the problem, make a decision. If you think he's in the right, go and follow Green. But for me, I'm on the side of the elders and the board of directors. I'm not going to allow somebody who sit in the U.S. who criticize the leaders in power in Liberia and say, oh, they're not following the law. And we here too, we are doing the same thing. I'm not going to allow you. I can't be part of an organization that has laws and we are not obeying the law. And once you tell me, you post stuff on paper and say you the right person. Well, you can't back it up. So after Green wrote all his stuff and he sorted the board of directors, this is what the chairman wrote. The guys are still professional and not going at what Green is doing. Green is angry. He's speaking out of anger. Because if you have no backing, the only thing you have is anger. You know, when two people are fighting and the other one, you're knocking beating the other person, you have you can't beat the other person. You can take any stick and knock the other person. That's what Green is doing right now. He has no backing. And so you just say anything right now. He's drowning. So when you're drowning, you can take any leaf that floating, you grab it, you think will save you, but you're going down with that leaf. So after Green finished insulting the board of directors and no respect whatsoever, he called them rebels and rebellious element and all of that. After that, then the honorable chairman, the man whose picture on the screen there for you. This is why Esoteric wrote. And they say that the Green said Esoteric is the problem. Here is what Esoteric wrote. Last night, after Green published that insulting communication, all right, here is what Esoteric wrote. Ladies and gentlemen of our union who believe and respect the Constitution of USA, please do not respond to posting from Mr. Geleo and others directed at the board of directors of USA. The board of directors and the chapter presidents of USA will respond to them utilizing the constitutional provisions that empowered the board of directors of USA. Have a good night. That's what Esau said. He didn't say anything foul. He told within the scope of the organization, he said, we'll deal with the men based on the Constitution. We'll do so with the chapter leaders and all of that. Green does not acknowledge all the chapter leaders. No, he doesn't care. So you decide whether Esau is the problem or Green Code Geleo is the problem. My job here is to bring the guys to you and you make your own call. There you go. Esau is obeying our Constitution. Green is outside the Constitution. He's changing the venue of the convention. He wants to carry it to Iowa. But he is not the problem. Esau is the problem. There you have it. If you want to participate, my phone is there, but we can also send the link to you if you want to say something. Otherwise, I will just look at your comments and call it a night. So you are the judges or the jurors. You listen to my deliberation. You can make the call. Let me look at some of the comments that are trending here. McCarvin says, so Green is a dictator. Who are his enabler? The Larry King and the Yeke, SARPO Yeke, and the other people. They are there. A lot of them. A lot. They are there in Minnesota. They just enable the guy to do whatever he wants to do. Those are the people. Jala. You have to bring people on. Yeah, Jala, that's why I say if you want, I can just let me know. I can send you the link. If you want the link, I will send it to you shortly. Let me see. Let me go through some of the comments here so you can come on board. I don't mind bringing people on. Let's see here. Who is getting any help from this union? After 30 plus years, nothing to show. Okay. And the viewers' comments. You see another comment here from McCarvin. This union must be preserved at all costs. This union is very important for the survival of our peoples. Okay, that's McCarvin talking. Jala Jala, we cannot allow these things that have been happening in our community to continue. Let the guys leave. Why? They don't want to leave. If it not about eating the money, okay, so you hearing that's the gentleman's opinion. He's member. He's from Minnesota. He's not from anywhere else. He's Minnesota member. McCarvin is saying, Jala Jala, please educate me, my dear brother. Okay, let's see. Let me see the education going on. McCarvin, stop supporting wrong things. Don't forget to send the link. Okay, I was saying the link in the jiffy. Sending the link. All those who want to participate, let me look at the comments here a little bit. McCarvin said, Dark, I'm sorry to say, but rather than utilizing this platform to unify, build, uphold, and the sanctity and sustain the growth and development of this union, I opine you are literally smoking the storms to the flames of that controversy that is decimating this union. They has to stop. All right. So you want me to be quiet while Green is doing the wrong thing? The guy is wrong. A spade must be called a spade. I'm not the one putting up the flames. Green is the one that putting up the flames, not me. I did not write the communication. I just come and read the communication to you guys. That's all I did. So how is it you're gonna make me the culprit for another man? So you are, it's a scapegoat. You are scapegoating here, comrade. Yeah, Green is that call the man out. The man who is blundering, that call the man out and say, oh, the man who is bringing the message to you is, oh, the messenger is the problem. I'm not the author of the message. So the guy who wrote the message, the one you have to blame, not me. Please send me the link. Okay, Jala, coming second, man. Let me see some of the comments here. I don't understand why you guys put bad idea. Let's see here. So when the president ceases to function as his duly elected role, who will execute the role during these critical times? They both doing that already. The president does not want to listen. He can't be there, I mean, forever. You're telling them people you want to be there forever because of COVID-19. I mean, it's not going until the COVID-19 is eradicated. I'll be there. The national administration must be allowed to carry out pending programs and actions in lieu of the pending conventions and all resolution activities. The completion of those projects are critical and must not be foreclosed. I mean, McCarvey, I don't know how you guys operate. I mean, so if somebody time is over by the Constitution, you allow the president to continue to stay in power. Where's the president getting the mandate from now? All right, Jala, let me send you the link here. Let me send you the link so you can come on. Let me send you the link quickly. Those that want to come, just let me know. I'll send you the link just immediately to you. Let me copy the link here. Invite. And let me see, Messenger. I'm sending it to you through Messenger. Let me see, Jala. What is Jala? Your names will come up by now. Perfect. And let's see, we can show it down. And boom, send. Okay, Jala, just check your messenger. I just sent a link to you, and so that you can participate. If you want the link, all those are following. If you want the link, let me know. Jala, I just send it to you. If you get in here, I'll see. Send me the link. Cooley Morris. Okay, let me send the link to you. Sending the link now. Cooley Morris. Cooley Mars. Let me see what's gonna come up. It's kind of a little slow, but Cooley Mars right here. And I'm gonna bring this up. Send. Mr. Mari, check your box, your inbox. I just sent it to you. I just sent you the link. All those are requesting, I'm following. All right, one person is in. Send me the link. Who is there? Can you bring me on? Okay, McCarvin, let me send you the link as well. 1 second. One person is backstage. Device not connected. You gotta. I think something is missing from your end there. You gotta do something. Go back and come back again. There's something you didn't do right. Let me put McCarvin. Let me send it to McCarvin. Boom, McCarvin. Let me see. Come to send. Okay, McCarvin, you may check your inbox. Yes, somebody here, but they say your device is not connected. Your guest will need to connect their mic or cam before you can add them. So you gotta connect your microphone. You say put your microphone on. So whoever is in here, I will kick you out and come back again. Yeah, you come back again. You gotta put your microphone. It's not on. It said whoever was in. It's Jala. Try again. So let me see, McCarvin. I got the link to you, sir. You can look in your messenger inbox. I just sent it to you. Seeing your comments. Yes, Green is a dictator. Remember, the guy from Minnesota, Manjino Smith. He did what? McCarvin, the link is in your bio, so you can come on. Cooley Morris, Jala. I sent you guys the link already. Just follow the instruction. Make sure you follow the instructions, and you will be on. It's very easy. It's very simple stuff. Just put your name, and when you get there, you can. Yeah, you are not. Your device is still not connected. I can bring you on. Device not connected. Your mic, your guest will need to connect their mic or camera or your camcorder, whatever, before you can add them to the screen. So, or if you go there, another thing you can do, you can go. They will say copy link. When what I send you, you put it in your browser. When you go into Google, where you can go, just put it in there, and it will bring you straight. It's very easy, but I don't know. I can't bring you right now. I seen you, the Cooley Morris. I'm seeing you, but this is your device is not connected, so I can do otherwise. You got to follow the instruction. You're not following the instruction. All right, so let me look at the comments, and when the people are not getting through, then I'll just call it a night. So let me see here. Manji Smith, wow, Green insulted you, and you didn't tell me. You're late, my man. Manji Smith, she wrote that. McCarvin said, you're calling him a dictator. You often vilify him on your platform and accuses him of everything from embezzlement to violation of the Constitution and recalcitrance. Media professionals must always unholy the tenets of broadcasting. Objectively, balanced, factual, refrain from being opinionatedness. Okay, so McCarvin, then you're not following what is going on in the union, sir. All the communication we have been, so when we put the stuff out, please try to read them. At least then you know. I have given you all the documents. The president went to Liberia first. The members the board approved 3,000. The members at the time I was the publicity man, gave him physical cash about the same number, like 3,000 plus and $800 plus. I mean, people are making they went to Liberia, came back, no report. What is that called? How do you call that? If the president withdrew recently, just when you went to Liberia, 7,000. The board has the constitutional mandate to approve money. They took the constitution to the president take $5,000 or $500 without board intervention. Okay, the man took $7,000. He just returned, no report. That is not considered embezzlement. How you call that? I can give you many instances where money given to Green cannot report on the money. All right, let me bring my Calvin on here. Hey, my Calvin.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're audible. Welcome to the Voice of SINOE. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I'm seeing your comment. What is the reservation with what I'm saying?
My comments pretty much do not originate just from the comments aired today. It is pretty much a reaction to a storm of broadcasts, a barrage of critiques that are often aligned along the prism of vilification of the current leadership. And these comments date back to almost a year, if not about 10 months or thereabout. And quite frankly, while I support this platform and idolize you for the extent to which you take serious the profession of media and broadcasting, I think the greater essence of this platform has to be geared towards moving communities forward in or building institutions. The reason why I thought to speak out tonight, even though I have a full-fledged article coming out in response to the many issues that you have raised on your platform, as well as events and or circumstances that are the subject of community discussions, I think quite frankly, we as a community are moved by the unfolding of our community because of the extent to which it threatens the existence of this union. You and I witnessed at ringside, so to speak, the dissolution of the GGAA because of similar tenets. I need not explain to you why the GGAA, the most vibrant Liberian-based union in the diaspora, is today at her feet. And I need not to tell you that the members of the USAA, some of them also hold membership of the GGAA. And to the extent that we witness the same sad fate, is against the background that I come to speak. I am not taking anybody's side in this issue here. Because the last crisis that happened in the GGAA, I was an arch rival, an arch supporter of one of the contending forces. I was unwilling to resolve my disagreements because I only saw one route to that, and that was by strict adherence to the laws as they were written. Today, if you ask me, I would think twice about what happened in the GGAA. I do not want the union that is doing so well for our people, that is the last bastion of our hope to something. I do not know Green Gideon more than I know you. I love him more than I love my sister, who I was just informed tonight was the victim of his verbal onslaught. My comments here tonight are solely meant to uphold the survivability of this union. And I will do so at all costs. That will mean confronting anybody that I deem, based on my investigation of what is unfolding in this community, to be the person culpable for misdeeds. I have reviewed the current constitution and I have been following from a distance. But I want to assure you that in the coming days, I myself will call Mr. Geleo. I will speak to the members of the board to ascertain facts, not from personal opinions, and cross-examine them so as to arrive at a conclusion that will help to save this union. So that the next person who will assume the leadership can assume one USAA and not a divided one.
Okay, but McCalvin, before you go on with other thoughts, you made a lot of claims, and you say you are watching from a distance. You're trying to ascertain the facts and all of that. You don't have the facts right now, but you are saying I'm vilifying the president. I mean, what are the foundation of those things that you are saying if you don't have the facts right now?
When I say I do not have the facts, I'm talking about the intricate details about the claims that have been made about withdrawals from the account, violation of the Constitution, because there were over 2 sides of every story. But to the claim that I made against your broadcast is well laden in the history of your broadcast. Anyone can take up 3 of your broadcasts, the most recent 3 or any 3 in the last 4 days, during which you referenced the leadership and or the president.
Yeah, but
the best reference for any of those broadcasts, the best reference that consummates the character of your broadcast against Mr. Geleo is one of verification, demonization, and or.
So McCalvin, based on what Green is doing, do you want me to come here and praise him?
No, but when media professionals or practitioners address issues or report about individuals, they refrain from name callings. That's one thing that I think is evident in your broadcast. You're calling him a dictator. I mean, you are calling him pretty much, you are throwing the kitchen sink at him. And that in itself is wrong for negotiation, and it will enable people to create front lines. You can still come out every day, do your best to highlight his wrongdoings without calling him names.
So, but if a man is exhibiting dictatorial tendency, I shouldn't say that.
Comrade, you and I know the definition of a dictator. You know the trappings of the dictatorship. The U.S. leadership is
Green is an embodiment of that. Green does not listen to the elders. Hold on now. Green does not listen to the elders' injunction or the recommendations. He does not listen to the board of directors. I mean, all he wants is what he says. And you say he's not a dictator?
No. The sad thing here is, with your reference of the elders, that both the GGAA and the USAA went to work and create and constitutions that squarely ruled out or excluded the input of our elders on statutory bodies. So much so that the whole leadership framework consists of the board and leadership. It pretty much excluded the elders, who are the critical forebears of this institution. So now that when crisis arise, they have no legal bearing, no legal basis to intervene, because the law do not give them the groundings.
Yeah, but I mean, is it?
Can I comment?
Yeah,
can I come in a little bit?
Yeah, I'm about to bring you on shortly. McCalvin, you see, I don't know exactly where you're going, because you said the elders are very important, right? They are very important. Okay, they are very important, but
our bylaws,
I understand that.
Include them, nor they
can between them. I won't speak to what Makata is talking about.
Okay, come in. It's your turn.
Okay, thank you, Comrade, and thank you, Makate. You see, look, you are a scholar. And when we expect you, when you come on the kind of show, I believe maybe what you said in the beginning that okay, start calling names. But if you have come to the point that you stressed just now, you said the aliens they are important. For our bylaw, not give them the authority to come in. But in this point now, in the particular scenario we're talking about on United SARPO Association, it is not about the Constitution. When we go by the Constitution, President Geleo completely out. That's what the earlier was trying to convince. So I just want for you to understand that before people are listening to you.
All right, listen now.
We are not dealing with the law now because I come in. When the law come in, these are the things that grabbed President Geleo then they said they were caught up. The earlier came in, the earlier know that when we follow the Constitution, then the people are out. And when they say they are out, they will beg you to bring confusion that while the earlier come in, they say, you know what? People come from the executive, other people come from the board, and two areas, you will join together, but we read a little guideline that will guide us, and they point those guidelines. Okay. But the executive was saying that, you know what, we got Constitution. We can't follow no guideline. And when they know deep down in yourself, when we follow this guy, when we follow our Constitution, that we sat down for 8 hours to write, they are out. So now,
let me respond to that point.
Yes.
So I got what you're saying. That if we go by the Constitution, they will be out.
Yes.
But the Constitution, the very Constitution we're talking about, did not stipulate that in the event of emergencies, where convenience cannot, the same thing is happening to GGAA right now.
Yeah, no,
because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the USAA was unable to convene. So that elections were not held. So because the election was not held, the official tenure had elapsed. So now, does that mean that because the tenure over the years to be leaderless? No.
No.
There are provisions in there that says that.
The Constitution said in the situation like this, in emergency situation like this, it's not nobody blame. But the Constitution said when that happened, the only person, the legitimate person that to run the day-to-day activity, go to that session. It said a board. I don't talk about Elias.
Boards in their composition do not run day-to-day operation of that's one thing that's wrong. So, like what I'm saying here is, I do not support anybody in this whole thing here. What I want to happen is for peace to be. Who's that man?
Peace will not come. Peace will not come. Peace will not come. And no, when nobody wants to agree.
Minnesota people or India people, peace to prevail. And by peace, for peace to prevail, we need to come together as one. So that calling them this and that is wrong. Because
let's leave this and that. Now that one I agree with you. Okay. What we deal with now, that the technical error we dealing with now.
Okay, good.
You have said that there's a provision whatsoever, but even beside what we're talking about in that Constitution, when everybody time expire, the Constitution tells that everybody time expire. The only person that will be there who time will not expire until they get successor that bowl. So it's clear that even when everybody time come to an end, Bo is still there. Then when Bo is still there, the Bo anything that we're trying to do, Bo said I will do it. The executive will not come in and say, you know what? It's a war that fighting. We not bring a war. Even though I was chancellor. Yes, sir.
Let me read. I mean, you guys are referencing the Constitution, but you are not giving exact provision in the Constitution. So, Macavian, let me give some provisions in the Constitution, right? So, if you look at Article 21 of the Constitution, Article 21, Section 1, where they talk about tenure, right? The tenure of office. So, Section 1 or 1.1.2, it says here, all elected executive officers all elected executive officers shall serve the association for a period of 3 years, but not more than 2 consecutive terms.
Yeah.
Is that clear?
Yeah, that means you cannot serve more than 6 years.
Okay, so the president was elected 2017 in North Carolina. So by 2020, he was over, right?
Yeah.
Now, so let me show you something else again. Let me show you something else.
That is, if in 2020 a convention was held.
Hold on. So over here they said section.
Let us interpret that whole first you just read. That would mean that in 2020, if the convention was held, but if none of that was held,
you are putting conditional. There is no if in that provision. You are saying, you are speaking hypothetically now. It's if. It didn't say if. So let me get clear.
So then that one in constitution you have more than one provision. It should be A, B, C, up to almost 10 or more. I would stipulate condition that if conventions are not held.
Yeah, but McCarvin, it didn't say that in the Constitution, so we can manufacture something.
Okay, so then it will have to use what is called receptive status.
So let's go to the board. I just gave you it said executive. It didn't say board members. Okay, so if you come to the executive section, Jada, let me see here what I can bring you on. Now you are visible. Good, I can bring you on now. So, McCarvin, let me make the last start before I bring the other gentleman on. So
yeah, go ahead.
Section 1.10 of the same provision, article that's 21, right? It says here under the board or section here, they say the board of directors shall take charge of the association in the event that the first 3 heads of the association, the president, vice president, and general secretary, are incapacitated. What is your interpretation of that?
Okay. You see, that identical provision is rather vague and it's subject to interpretation.
Yeah, that's why I said, what is your interpretation?
Listen, it could mean anything from physical, mental, health-wise, and or anything that lose them from performing their duties.
So it's not pandemic?
So in addition to that, can we also constitutional incapacitation? So the guy was incapacitated constitutionally. Can you add that also?
That would be far-fetched. It'll be far-fetched.
Oh, is that far-fetched? Why you say far-fetched? But you say it can be interpreted so many ways.
Yeah, but
the Constitution said let's talk one at a time. Yeah. The Constitution gave the guy 3 years. So the guy 3 years over. Is that constitutional incapacitation?
No. Come here.
All right, go ahead.
What that would mean is that if that would be a condition, it will have to be spelled out in verbatim. But it will not use the word that was used, incapacitated. That means,
but Maccabi, you just said the provision is ambiguous, so it's subject to interpretation.
But
it's vague.
It will not be initiated by the very constitution that gives them the power to do that.
That's why you get a platform here now.
Okay, let bring Mr. Jada on, please. Let bring Mr. Jada on.
Jada said I was backing wrong. Tell me whether I was backing.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you are loud. Yeah, you are clear.
Okay. First of all, you take out BB grammar for in this thing here. And I want to hear on this the whole organization, people who can even understand the thing you'll be talking. And that's how at the end of the day, they just follow. So we need to bring down the English. So the old people can understand what we're talking about. Then they can run their decision on what they understand. Okay, that's number one. Number two. Brother McCarvey, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
That's good. Good. Cody, how you doing?
Yeah, thank you, sir. I'm doing well.
You know, the problem we're facing when things wrong, we should put on the bullet or on the blow bowl. Wrong. Don't put fuel on it. Don't put oil on it. Don't put nothing on it. It's wrong. If if everything that been going on, there is no reason on earth that all the chapters we have in the union, North Carolina, Florida, Philadelphia, North Dakota, now Iowa, if those are presidents of all chapters or all the chapters have problem with a national problem, then we have a problem. Then there is no way we beat around the bush. That's one thing we need to consider. Every time the president is a secretary to the board. So everything that go on, he read them. He know everything about it. But when he come back to the people, you see people that the people cannot understand. So the people don't understand the thing. Is, oh yeah, agree. But when the people get to find out, it's not what the general body want. So the whole thing here that Green Town finished, Green is no more. Let's just put that case behind us. If Green want to come together, if we want to build a union to stay together, Green need to come down and take that beat or bring it down to the lower level and say, look, my people, we were wrong. We were going the wrong direction. But to carry the union to the right place, you forgive us. We were doing it wrong. We never understood where was going on. Then we all can come together. I always say, they didn't take the man out. The man turn is over. It finished, complete, done. The little time he was using, it was something that was temporary. When temp service you start to work, you don't do the job great. If not, they will send you when you're not going back there.
Can I ask a question, please?
Sure.
The little time you referenced, how was that time given to him? And by whom was it given?
It was given to him by the area and the board members.
For what?
No, let me come into that question. Let me come into that question a little bit. Jala.
Was it because
let me come into that question. Let me come into that question.
And the convention was not held?
Can I come to the question?
Yeah,
go ahead.
Was it because of the COVID-19 and a convention was not held?
Go ahead, Kudi.
Yes. Okay. Yes. That because of COVID. Listen. Liba, what we're trying to say here, they tell the candidate what you're talking about or the way you try for us to do it. It will not end. It will bring a conflict here. Because you know what happened? The earlier I saw it coming. And you saw the letter the executive wrote, the earlier, right?
Yeah.
So what earlier I said, they pull together. Okay. That what earlier I saw and they called them. So the internship they were doing. But right, selling times or some earlier said, last we're going to read the board officially. And appeal to them. Let we all file with a position temporarily until convention because at what time it finished. But they refuse to listen to Sally.
Okay.
Sally said they refuse to listen to him. Okay, then earlier said, you're not put a constitution aside, we don't want confusion. You come when they came so able proposal that the earlier presented, they refuse everything. So the little time you're talking about, nobody get to them, no earlier get to them. They say beside the nursing quarter, no money more come from in that account. After the nursing quarter, they still taking money. They don't listen to nobody. So the few times you're talking about, nobody get to them. They were illegally doing it. Even the president went to Labrador without a proof. And you see, so there ain't no confusion already come.
Okay,
Look, Liba, you say I agree with you. But
now
they are not doing that way.
What do you think is the way out of this confusion?
The way out of it?
Yeah.
Number
because
one.
For me, my interest here is a way out. You know
okay,
why?
Let me tell you the way out.
You know why? Because in Frances Clark Myers, I see a great leader. And I heard she's aspiring for the leadership of this union.
Okay.
I want that at the time that she assumed the leadership of this union, that we have one union and not two or three.
Okay.
So my goal here.
So okay, let me tell you.
Use everything we have to bring about peace until
bring solution.
August we will have a convention.
Yes,
let me tell you.
Kevin,
let me tell you. Kevin,
one at a time, please.
Kuri, Could you coming? Kevin, this is it.
Yeah.
The thing that will bring it down, your tone of voice. It activate green grill attitude. That's number one.
My tone of voice?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to see the union to come together, don't give him fire. Don't give him gas to put on fire. Because when you hear those small things like little mosquito noise, he think it made a lot of sense to him. Then he begin to react on those things that he don't even understand the way you're coming from. But because he heard that, then he think you on his side. So then he started to go, oh, the people on my side. So if
let me clarify something before you conclude. My outcry on this issue is neither a support for green nor the bull. I am for the sustainability of this union.
Yes.
So nothing I say should be misconstrued as a support for Greens, mischievous or dictatorial, as my man said, dictatorial tendencies. No, I do not stand for that. I'm an institutional person.
That's what I'm saying.
The rule of law.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
But what I will not also refrain from saying is that because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the USAA was unable to convene at her convention. And the elders, as well as the board in their wisdom, thought it wise to sustain the tenure of the current leadership.
Yeah.
That is not an umbrella term for them to go out and do whatever the deem is right in their eyes. No.
We have to put that aside.
Do must be within must be done by the consensus of both the board and the membership.
We have to put that.
Let me come in, please. McCalvin, I don't know. I think, like you rightly said, you gotta go about it.
Not getting the point.
Yeah, McCalvin is not getting the point. McCalvin,
What is the point?
Yeah, really.
The point here is, McCalvin, the question you asked first, he said, what is the way forward?
Yeah.
The way forward is if the president, the former president, as you say, wants to remain the president, right? If he wants to remain, if he wants to remain the president, he can put his team together because the board or director, they have already established the Electoral Commission. The guy can bring his team forward so they can go to the ballot box. Yes, according to the Constitution. Let me read. Hold on.
That is the function of the national president.
Hold on, McCalvin.
National president anymore.
McCalvin. Let's talk one at a time, please. Let's talk one at a time.
If care is not taken, neither of us on this show tonight are lawyers. When you are
not the Constitution
to interpret constitutional provisions, you must do so with a legal mind, a legal understanding. Neither of us are lawyers.
McCalvin.
If the law does not say that,
McCalvin. Hold on. I mean, for us, let's read the Constitution again. Let the people listen to the language of the Constitution.
Not waste the time.
The board does not
waste the time.
But Malese are coming. You can't read Constitution. Why he is saying? Because if McCarthy leader of a group, there will be no peace there. Because in the first place, when we attend 8 to 9 hours to read a Constitution, when I time come for the Constitution, even whether that pandemic whatsoever, why the Constitution say we must do it, nobody denies to wrong. Why he saying now is because we are SARPO people, because we are the same people, we don't need confusion. But if that the organization like the organization that in America here down, where come from, let's say, what come from Firestone? All the children that born in Firestone, they get an organization. Listen to this. They got an organization here. Everybody come from different tribe. When the pandemic happened, you know what happened? My dollar baby, my tablo dollar. She are the secretary general for that organization. When the pandemic happened, you know what happened? They born each other. Nobody say food. Nobody ask you. The leadership sit down and they put their team together to go this year. But you see, saboting and crime thing. That's all.
All right.
If I'm president, yes.
Let me say this for free, okay?
Yeah.
Drake will buttress that point from the very organic laws that should be the dictates of what happens in this union.
Yeah.
The board does not run day-to-day operation of any institution, no, and no getting that power to do so. Such is why, in their wisdom, they agreed to extend the tenure of Mr. Green until what point in time a convention is held. So until the convention that is in August, Mr. Green is still the president of the USAA. Understand that? That does not mean that he should misbehave because of the
I don't think so. I don't think so.
McCarthy is not be backing what he's saying. He's just saying the man is the president. Okay, what gives him the power to be the president?
Because let me say to you now. Maybe when I said it first, you didn't get it.
Charlie,
Mr. Green
right downstairs
had a 3-year tenure that should have ended at August 2020, but due to the COVID-19, the convention was not held. The board, in her wisdom, said that because of COVID-19, based on the fact that nobody could assemble at anywhere, they gave him an extended time.
McCarthy, point of correction. The board did not get.
I said, how? I asked you, was it tenure ended? You said yes.
Point of correction. McCarthy, let on one at a time. Point of correction.
Yes, sir.
The board did not give the president an extension.
What did they give him?
The board. I mean, when the president tenure expired, the board came in. They said, "Mr. President, your time is over." But then the president was intransigent. He doesn't want to leave, and so it was going. There was a back and forth between the board of directors and the executive, and that's how the elders came through. And the elders gave recommendations to them. The board agreed that, okay, your recommendation, we accept the recommendation of elder. President Gio replied, I just read to you. The man said, I'm revising your recommendation. I don't agree with them. So then you were saying, I mean, the board is not doing the right thing. The board gave that extension. No, the board did not get extension.
I'm still a legitimate president.
Right.
I'm not listening to nobody.
You are making your own recommendation. The board gave you recommendation. The board agreed. And you are telling me, I modify your recommendation. I'm making determination. This is what I want. Okay. There was no agreement. Nobody gave you authorization. The board the elder made recommendation. The board agreed. The president said, I'm revising it. And you said they gave the man authorization. No, they don't authorize him.
So for the last several months.
Makari, let me ask you a question before you go. Let me ask you one more question before you go. Let me ask you, all these things you're preaching here, all these things, according to your statement, all you want to see, you want to see the union coming together.
Definitely.
But you are not saying, you're not talking the negative part that the people collect money from the account without authority or without authorization. You're not talking about those things. You're only focusing on the board have no authorities. Let me tell you, if you want to see things to come together, you don't keep going back and looking for things that is not true. When 2 or 3 persons are saying the same thing and you trying to tell them no, what they are saying is not right. If you want to see the solution to the problem, like I said to you earlier, you need to lower down your tone, because whenever you carry those tone, it brings more fire, because they feel that Green feel that people stay on his side. But if you look, if you love Green or you love the organization, when Green is doing wrong, you look in your face and say, Green, you are wrong. The organization is not yours. And this is what the Constitution says. Even though the people say you must stay there because of the COVID-19, the COVID-19 has not finished yet, but we just advising people getting places. It is time other people leave. And this is the question I want to ask you.
Okay,
what is the main reason? What is the main reason that Green doesn't want to leave? If it's not, I will not answer the question myself. Right? Answer me the question. What is the main reason that he don't want to leave the organization?
Okay.
And he's not getting paid off?
Very good question. You see, what I'm trying to establish before I go into the accusation that have been levied against him, claiming that he withdrew money from the account, those are secondary. I want to first establish on whose authority was he presiding before he went out to withdraw those monies. And from what I gather, it was a resolution from the elder council to both the board that he should be getting extra time and there were several other recommendations in the letter, more than 3 or 4, I believe. Until we can establish how he presided over the union before he withdrew that money, we cannot go beyond that. So
every money that we draw in the account, the board had to
listen, first and foremost, I was trying to establish the green. Although it's telling you in August of last year, 2019, he was giving whatever he requested it, or he himself. It was that project that he was using to do the things that we're saying he's doing. I do not support the things that you say he's doing. I don't support them. I don't support to the account to withdraw $1 from there without board approval. But what I will say to you is that his tenure is still legitimate until a point in time we can convene a convention.
By virtue of what? By virtue of what his tenure is still legitimate? By virtue of what?
It's not constitutional.
It is.
The man is disagreeing with the elders, and you're still fighting the elders. I don't know.
Convention. So because of that,
you asking that question for Wale? You asking that what's the name? What's the name? Mr. Planner. You asking that Casey Wale? Because the reason I'm saying that, right?
Let me say this to you.
Let me tell you. Let me say the reason I'm saying that, right?
You're not helping the whole thing to net, man.
Whenever
let's deal with the facts here, Kuli. The fact here is that although it's telling you in that last August,
McCarty, I understand we're dealing with a fact, but what my thing here to you here is you are flip-flopping.
Okay, is that you see it?
Yeah, and the reason I'm saying that is because you want to come together.
You have an opinion that
I know. I'm coming now. I'm coming. I'm coming. You want to see the union come together, but then you are still there supporting wrong thing.
What is the wrong?
Because you want to get a fact.
What is the wrong?
Let me tell you something. In every case,
what is the wrong?
Okay, let me tell you now. The case that wrong here is the board not approved the $2,500.
I didn't say anything about money on the show tonight.
I understand, but listen.
I said
that was wrong.
He's doing
but he
is still the president.
Just hold on.
Let's go one at a time, guys. Please. Jim, maybe I'll mute you guys. Let one person win.
Exactly.
Jim, you got the floor. Go ahead.
Thank you. So whenever somebody do one or two things, and you try to justify, the one he do over there is okay. But all the wrong things that he keep doing, we can see it. You only see that little one thing, and you want to emphasize on that one single thing. And when you have 3 people, let me tell you something. This is something. When you stand in front of somebody and you start to argue, and the person say you win, in other sense, excuse me, they will say that mouth order, right? Whenever you and somebody arguing, or you have 2 or 3 persons arguing, and the same 3 people on the same thing, my brother, everything you're talking, you just want to create argument. Because you alone cannot continue to see the positive side, while about 4 or 5 persons see negative side. So if you want to see the organization move to the next level, Green, stay in the stage. Let keep him there. Let keep him where he is. Matter of fact, we should go on the farm, take most of the wood, pack it up, black it up so he can come up. Let's put a union together and see how best. Let's forget the constitution. Who keep green? Who didn't keep green? Let's forget it. If you load the stone, now green this, green that, Green will not come on Facebook or anything to post him. But whenever he hear these kind of tunes that this guy in Minnesota is pushing him, then he begin to activate. That's what I don't want. That's what I don't want.
That view is very simplistic, though.
McCarvin, let's give Mr. Morris the opportunity.
Yeah,
Mr. Morris, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, you know what I'm trying to say, that you are putting fire in what are happening. You see the play where you hold it. That place is not solid. When you say, oh, he's a leader, he's a president. When a time finish, and because of pandemic, that why you don't go for convention, he had to be there until another convention time. It is not something that is solid. You know how the only way it will happen, right? You know the only way it will happen when that time finish, and you are not trying to. We are still telling you, the man he was accepted to still continue to the other convention. But whatsoever provision everybody bring, he say he acting that when he was elected in North Carolina, he think that what he say is. You want to pay attention to nobody. So we still trying to bring you to that, but this thing we telling you, you only on to both of us to use your wisdom, saying it's your president. So if you stay only on to that, and we are on the conference tonight, and everybody listening, even they get backing from you because everybody know you as a scholar. When you are acting on the bring video there, oh, I come here, you the thing you say, because you say no. But now, as I'm talking to you, people here, and they think that 3 or 4 that acting to know what they pour on now, we hate green. That I looking. But if I meet Kuri, and think of you, if you myself can't telling me to argue on the, I would just say, oh, German, that I say. But you still stay and 3 of us that we are telling what we said. And what I put in fire, you're not putting peace. You say you want peace.
So let me say this, okay?
Thank you.
And this I understand it's a family-based institution. And if we do not carefully cause in the objective of this union, it can give rise to inter-family hostilities that have the propensity to undermine the survival of this union. I understand that I've seen it firsthand in the GGAA. So when you hear me say that my first and foremost goal is to keep this union intact, is that I come with the hindsight of what has happened in GGAA. I understand maybe some of you may not have been aware of the ground issues that led the business for the confusion. That was why I said clearly that I do not support any wrongdoing, anyone who was stand up in violation of the laws of this union. But before we can reach to all the wrong things that Green is doing, is we must first agree that Green is still the president.
By virtue of what?
No.
By virtue of what? By virtue of what?
Of the fact that a convention was not held in a convention year and that it was due to COVID-19. So
Stop it, buddy.
It's not in the constitution.
This union is not the first.
Don't forget
that had to face the same thing. Even the US that we are in, every election was not going to be forced. Do you know that Trump will still be president?
No.
I rest my case, gentlemen. Enjoy your night.
Yeah, all right, McCarthy. Before you go, I want to leave this on your mental hard drive.
Yeah,
the elders. This is what they told the president to do. That he reneged he defaulted on. Number one, that part of the terms of reference for that setup, as they were referring to something earlier, that they should come with a timetable for the executive to report on the financial report or position of the association. They did not do that. B, they said come out with a timetable for the executive to report on the work of the COVID-19 relief committee, including the status of the $10,000 approved. The president has not reported on the $10,000. He requested for $7,000. The board increased it to $10,000. They added $3,000 to it. Up to now, we don't know the status of that $10,000. The president has not reported anything to us. Okay. C, the elders also recommended to the president come with a timetable for the appointment of the election commission. The president has not done that. Okay, I mean, I just giving you these are the things that the elders gave in, and you fail to follow them, and you say, you know what? He wrote his own thing. This is what green recommendation. Let me read part of it. Please, before you go, hold on. Let me read part of the green recommendation to the elder. He said, having started to peruse your revised recommendations, we are pleased to make the following modification or determination. Now, Green talking about me. Green said, number one, that we agree that the executive officers and the board of directors remain in power and work together until general elections are held pending the eradication and resolution of the coronavirus crisis. Green does not want to leave power. And he said until the coronavirus is eradicated. That's what Green is telling you. Number two, Green said that with the confidence and assurance accorded us, the executive and the board of directors work together seamlessly. We humbly propose that you, the elders, do not form part, because the elders say they want to be part of the crafting of the guidelines. Green is saying, no, we don't want you to be part of it. For what reason, I don't know. Number three, Green said that the initial projects agreed upon by the assembly prior to the stalemate due to COVID-19 or pandemic deaths in our community and other unrestrained situations will be implemented by the executive and board of directors. The elder said that besides the message quarter, nothing else should be done until we go to election. Green said, no, I won't implement everything else prior to the pandemic. The man revising the elders' recommendation. Number four, Green said that we will. Green is telling you, he not making recommendation on the one. He said, we will implement all other impending projects that are culturally appropriate for the betterment of our community and its people. That a financial report has been already been conveyed. That's why he said he made a point. So that Green talking, the people made a recommendation. Green say are doing something different.
Okay.
Lastly, sir, before you go, this is what the board reaction to what the elder said. The board said, dear Elder Black, on behalf of the board of directors of the United SARPO Association, I would like to inform you that after a careful review of your recommendations to the directors and the National Executive Committee of the USAA, designed to help move USAA forward, the director have resolved to accept and support the recommendations. Thank you very much for your time and effort. May God bless. I mean, that's what the elder said. They didn't make any. They accepted. Green is the one that doing something different. Now you can go ahead.
So first and foremost, I like to applaud the board for their concurrence with the elders. The elders' request falls within the dictates of classical leadership around the world. That is, that leadership will make reports of every funds expended during the course of their leadership. I heard in that letter you read, it's COR of reference. And after the reference is the term we are arguing about right now, green, illegitimate leaders or former leadership. That COR was that the board and the elders agreed upon for Green to lead this union at a point in time when it becomes feasible for us to have a convention. But what I disagree with is Green's insistence on a point in time when COVID will be fully eradicated. I don't think that time will ever come in the near future. I don't agree with that timeline. I don't agree with him also not making for the report. I don't agree with him also taking money from the account that were not authorized. Are you understand what I'm saying? But what I will say to you is that the TOR that is referenced here is a concurrence between the board and the elders, agreeing to give Green and the leadership team an additional period of time to lead a union until a point in time when convention held. Where is it?
But Green disagree with the TOR though. The man said he wants to be there in perpetuity. The man said he wants to be there until the COVID-19 is eradicated.
I'm saying
so then you're not going by the TOR.
The USAA plan is going to up this August. I'm going to be there. If Green does not show up, the committee will be held. And then at that point in time, we can elect a new president.
Before
Is
you,
the choice for or not? But this hour that was agreed upon by the board from the elders. Green was agreed. It was agreed to give Green additional time to lead his union, but to make reports and to hold off on the execution of any project accepted in the national quarter. That is reasonable. Agree with that. We'll see where is a disagreement tonight.
okay.
So,
Before you go, me ask you one question.
Green or any mischievousness, I do not stay with him on his failure to make further report. I do not stay with the board and or the elders. I think we as people from the SARPO land must learn to put this union intact. That's my goal. Good night and have a peaceful day. Thank you very much.
Okay, buddy. Thank you for coming on, man.
You're very welcome.
Oh man, I got my last question for that man. Question before you go, but then you go, that's fine. That's the best thing.
Well, I question you when okay, you see, Jala. The thing is GGA. Okay, you see what happened?
They didn't for some people.
It is no, but actually, it's the malice in there. That cause the confusion will continue.
But the man admitted it though. He said you were part of the rift. He was one of the guys that took Usaa. He said that.
I see, so they were with Fred Bion, and they both freeze their account. They both say, "Oh, you don't know more president again because what you did." Now it is the same person. Why are we telling you? Why you hold on to that? That thing is legit. Like, oh, okay, you know what, Kuri, you are president, but since your time finish, and because your time finish is a epidemic, so they both in their own Western. What Western got to do with what the Constitution said?
Mr. Morris.
Yes.
I think we've been on for a while, but this McCarvin raised something very important. I think it's fundamental. It's very important, and that is, what is the way forward? I mean, I just want to pose that question so we can brainstorm more before we leave. I mean, I want to get Mr. Morris's view first. What is the way forward? Now we have, I mean, different things going on. I just want to get our opinions and what we think. I mean, our goal now is how do we solve the problem? So what is the way forward?
Okay. The way forward is, my brother, that what when the honorable president came from Liberia, the next day I called him. I said, Mr. Geleo, I said, I don't want for you to comment on anything. The decision you made by here, what you will do you have means to call Mr. Sabwe, my man, because you know anything in the union, it will carry your name. I don't care what you do. I call the man, and God bless me, answer me, because me never answer me, but he answered me that day. I said, I'm trying to look for a solution. He said, I'm not calling nobody. I said, no, you don't have to do it, but I just calling you to give my advice, ask your friends, and then I also went and called Joyce and try the same question to her, and I said, no, two of you got to do something. So now, my brother, the way to go forward now, I can't go to Bo to say revise your what you said. The only time to go forward now is let Mr. Geleo. Let you change what you're doing. Go on Facebook, start writing. He has not been writing since the whole organization being up and down. He has not been writing. People are not pushing now. He must listen. Let you come and talk to the board.
Okay, so do you agree with the former president, Madam Kalejeville? She said the election is the way forward.
Yeah, yes, I agree with her 100% because what I'm looking at is that even you asking me, even though I say what I say now, but it's not possible. The men they will not agree. So right now, the only thing we can do now, whether the organization will break into pieces, we just got to accept it now. I said that because the condition we're looking at now, people, Green, Geleo, and the cause officer that we hear, there's no way that they will compromise.
So, Mr. Morris, one of the guys listening to you got wisdom. I mean, I don't want the organization to go into pieces. So, as a wise man on this platform, how can we get the organization to remain in whole? And that's the question. How can we maintain?
we continue to talk to the former president to submit. Let's be frank. Even
So
though we say,
basically, you follow your foot because you were with him, and you recognize that you guys turned over, and that's why you step aside. Correct.
and then the advice I gave him was, well, I'll give one example quickly. The example I gave him was, say, Sammy Gao, he was an area in Johnson, and then Pamo was an area in Johnson. Those two people, before they go tell somebody to make an announcement that the town people must get together, two of them already discussed in the night. So Green Geleo, I don't care what you do. Call that man, it's your area. Two of you must be friendly, you must be talking before every teleconference. But if you get me on teleconference to talk, you don't get private phone call, the organization will go into kill. And so, I mean, I provide all my wise wisdom, my brother.
Okay,
So
Mr. Jalo, what is the way forward, man? What's the way forward?
The Bible says, when your left hand is sinning, cut it off before it affects the right hand.
What we got for medicine for the left hand, my man? We got to call it off.
Listen.
Now what Bible say, man?
Let me tell you, in life, there's something that will make you successful, and there's something that will not be successful. If you join into certain business, if you know it's not going to be successful, you leave it. Then you try something else. Because if you continue to hold on to that something, you end up being losers. And this is what we can do. The fact that Green Geleo refuses, and like I said to you, without Green Geleo, without Minnesota, the organization can still run. It does not mean some people will not understand what this organization for. But if we continuously to push ourselves to the point that, oh yes, some people in Minnesota need to be part of it, even though they're looking at the bright light and they see it's dark. And we have, because of a sympathetic mind, oh, we're breaking up, we don't want to break up. We will break up in the way that we will never come back because we're afraid to break up. Look, let me tell you, in everything you do not be afraid of the bad thing that come after. Because every bad thing that comes, you begin to realize, you begin to learn something different. The last time you break up, when we came together, you can see the difference. There were different changes from the usual age. We never even raised money to the point that we're raising money now. So maybe, just maybe, if Green Geleo leave, it will be another thing to give another way of running decision. Who we put in power, or who we call brother to bring us from where we are to bring us together. The recent Green Geleo doing this today, he got a web ballot rather. Former Madam Presidents, there's board members, and all these people brought him, and there was no election. You see, so now he had that, so he think he over everybody. So now, if we say, okay, look, you know what, Green Geleo or not Green Geleo, we can do this here, and if we can prove it, to me, I think the other chapter, if we continue with its argument, I think we're afraid that maybe if Minnesota people leave, the organization will go down in the drain. But if we believe to ourselves, the remaining 4 or 5, whatever chapter that remain, that we can build it and our people can benefit without Green or without Minnesota people. Minnesota people will look at the genuineness of the organization and they will come along.
Say half of Minnesota, not all of them.
No, that's what I'm saying. There are 2 SARPO boys in Minnesota, 2. Green Geleo SARPO and the original SARPO.
Which one is the original?
The original SARPO are the people who didn't follow Green Geleo, but the one that follow Green Geleo are Green Geleo SARPO.
You guys are funny.
No, seriously. Like my brother was saying, he here for the organization to come together, but he continues to carry all those things around, the same thing that made Green Geleo to be working like he got power. Oh, Green Geleo said the president. No, his time finished. He's not a president. If we want to keep this on here, okay, fine. Look in green, fair, look green. This thing for our people. It's not for one person. When your term finished, when the people say you leave, leave it.
Yes.
Leave it. Don't keep going and pushing. Oh, Green Geleo, the president, Green Geleo. If you do those things, then you're talking about you want to bring the organization together. You're not. You are flip-flopping. You just come on stage and say, oh yeah, I want the organization to be together. No, if you want to be together, tell the man the truth. Oh, the way the man take the money, he didn't support it. The man did not agree to the board. He didn't support it, but the Green Geleo said president. How many people let my kids up before you say the kid up? So my thing here is to come together. To come together for me, I don't mind calling people. Like the other days, I even called Casey Wally. And you are like, whenever problem in the community, it's for every one of us. So we all have to come together with an idea. And he was standing there, he was acting like he pretended like he got no clue, which I don't even have a problem with that. But if it's a truth somewhere, say it. It will not spoil your deed. It's better you say the truth than to have beyond something. Then at the end of the day, look at my lovely, guy that I admire so much. When the first thing I made with John Talley, the secretary, the one that with Green Geleo, what's his name? Andrew Swap. I respected that guy like crazy. And I look up to him that this guy, he's one of the land sample or guys that sample are produced. But if you look at the way in which he carry himself because of common thing that will not benefit him tomorrow. He was looking at Green Geleo doing the wrong thing.
All right, gentlemen. I've been on for a while. Let's give our closing comments and we can call it a night, please.
Yeah, so about Emma's statement, then I go in for you to sit there and say, oh yeah, Green, what you doing is wrong. And I will not support this idea. I think let's follow this here. Since he's a wise man, I think Green could have followed him. But for Andrew to sit there and support those things, I think that's a bad thing. So Sabopo, you leave Minnesota people or the Green Geleo Sabopo people alone. And let carry the thing on and prove it to the people. That's what I can say. May God bless every one of you who are watching and where all your comment is. Thank you. Hey, Mr. Morris.
Yes,
I need to find you because I can't. You're not friends, so I need to find you because you don't have anybody.
Try hard, kind of subordination.
Yeah. Peace out, gentlemen.
All right, Mike. Jala, thanks for your contribution, man. Appreciate your participation.
Yeah.
But the wise man, what's your closing statement? Please go ahead.
Okay, my closing statement is that, my brother, my closing statement is that, we the Christian will say, we the Christian from the Christian side now. I'm just praying to God that, we our believing with God, all things are possible. So right now, when we the believer, when hard for all, when there is no way out of no way, then we leave it with God to straighten nothing. Because God can get in somebody out and substitute tomorrow. I will give you one example. When the children of Israel were leaving Egypt, it is the same God that made the Pharaoh had to go higher so they will see the power of God. And I know he can convene in the SARPO people business. So I'm praying for all the SARPO people that God will touch your heart, so we love one another, so we can be apart. So that my last word tonight. God bless each and every one of them, and every one of us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All
right. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. The panelist, that's the host of the SARPO Nation, Cody Morris. He comes there with facts and knowledge. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that's how we're doing it for the night. We want to say thank you so much for joining the Voice Society in the Diaspora with that. For the esoteric, I call it speed. It's a speed. I call it cow. A speed is a speed. I'm not going to embellish it, I'm not here as a journalist. I'm here to soldier of justice and tell you the truth. I mean, if you're a dictator, I will call you a such. If you are a benevolent leader, I will tell you you are a benevolent leader. If you somebody who is in the middle, I don't know what there is touch thing. The law of the excluded middle in logic, it doesn't allow us to say, oh, you're in the middle, or you're down. It can be in the middle. All right, so that's the breaking news from the community. The president has now declared himself the leader without listening to the board of directors, without listening to the others. He's still saying, I'm the president of the SARPO people, no matter what. I'm revising the others' recommendation. I'm getting my own decision, my own recommendation, and that's what I'm going to follow, whether you like it or not. All right, so that's how we end it for the night. You be the judge again. Whether the boy is wrong, he can decide. Whether the president is right, he can decide. Either way, you make the judge. So let me get my closing music here, and I'll call it a night. Thank you so much to all the viewers for following us. So I now want to play the traditional music. And so it's something we have.
Assemblée, un problème, tout ça du nom. Aginoba, Agabuja, tout ça du nom. Aginoba, un problème, tout ça du nom. Assemblée, Agabuja, tout ça du nom. I'm on Derivo, in Jerry do. I'm on Blemo, I'm on Derivo. I said I get it.
You know, I can't leave without hearing my man Jiko's name in the music. So I play the music. I want to hear the former president name.
Hello to all my fans around the world. My name is Marie Nyenambo, the queen of traditional music. The only thing I want you to do to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on WhatsApp, I'm on Amo. Just subscribe to my channel. Promote me, my fans. Subscribe to my channel.
Subscribe, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, did you talk to the president just talked to his speech, and we heard what he said. All right, I'll talk to you another time.